Sonic Movie 3 is right around the corner, and Jakks Pacific and Target messed up big time, as they might have just spoiled the movie for a lot of people, because I just went to Target and they had an action figure 2-pack of Super Sonic and yes, Super Shadow.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Freaking peak. Super Shadow confirmed for Sonic 3. Let's go. But also low-key not peak and something to not get excited for, since these toys being out is a spoiler for some people and has definitely upset a good bit of them. I say some people because I don't care or give a crap, since I figured Super Shadow would happen, as the Supersonics figures bio said it pretty much, and let's be honest, it's Super Shadow, and Super Shadow isn't anything new. And I was so damn hyped to find these figures, and I've been wanting a Super Shadow figure from the movie ever since I got that Supersonic.
It's the GOAT! The GOAT!
And what's crazy about finding these figures is that they had a buttload of them, and the price tag for them is $29.99 with no street date, so I had to cop. And now I have them in my possession, so let's get this review started. The figures come packaged in the same aesthetic that the rest of the movie figures have came in. We can see both of these beautiful figures inside, and we can also see that the window has little holes in them. This so you can test out their special features, which you gotta pull these little tabs out to do so that are on each side of the box. I'm gonna show y'all the special feature later though, so stay tuned. Here's the top, sides, and bottom of the box. Back of the box shows off full body images of the figures, and has some cool promo shots of each of them powering up in the top corners. And it also says Super Sonic and Super Shadow here. I point this out because nowhere else on the box says their names. Like, you'd expect to see the figures' names on the front, so I don't know what's up with that. But one thing I do know what's up is that it's time to get these guys free from the pack. These figures right here are so freaking goated. Like, they look so beautiful, and I've had a lot of fun getting some cool shots with them, especially with Shadow, as I think he looks so badass and a lot better than Sonic. They gave him a lighter shade of yellow compared to Sonic's, which really makes me happy, because if you aren't aware, in the games it's like this. So this figure just verifies that in the movie they went with game accuracy colors for Super Shadow, and man, it looks so freaking good. The coloring on him looks so damn good, and I am so pleased with it. And it even has little shiny glitter pieces on it. They really don't show up on camera though, but in person you can really notice it. And the same goes for Sonic, as his coloring is accurate to the source, as he is more golden than Shadow, and he has little sparkles all throughout his body, making him look even more super. Then, both of these figures have the realistic eyes thing, and thankfully on these guys, they don't have the problem of the eyes being sliced in half like some of the other movie figures do. For their faces, there is one thing I prefer about Shadow's face over Sonic's, is that the face that Shadow makes looks more serious. They gave him a not so happy mouth expression, which I personally think Sonic should have as well. As a serious mouth looks better to me when they are in super form, because when they are super, they mean business. Also, another reason why I think these figures' faces look so good is the fact that they didn't paint the skin color over their nose bridge area like how they did with the regular figures, because on them it just didn't look that good since they painted a flesh color over blue and black. So by them not painting the nose bridges, they look a lot better. Now, I do have an issue with Super Sonic's head. He has some crap on the side of his face that I just can't get off. Like, I don't even know what this is, and it's honestly kind of freaking gross. And sadly, that's not the only place that has poor QC on this Sonic. Both of his hands have horrible QC, as there is paint scuff marks all around them. And if you're wondering if Shadow has any of these issues, I can gladly say he doesn't. His paint QC is overall pretty good and a lot better than Sonic's. Only spot on mine that is sloppy is around his middle bottom quill, as there is some red on the yellow. But it's nothing major like Sonic's crap on his face, which is great, because I primarily bought the set for Super Shadow. Now, I'm sure you guys see all the little clear pieces on their quills, the buttons, and the screws in their backs. Well, these are all part of the special feature that I mentioned that these figures have. If you push the buttons on their chest, you can make their eyes and hair light up. And this looks so damn good. It's really neat when you turn on all the lights and then turn them on. The only thing I don't really like is that they flicker. I kind of wish they just stay on or have like some special mode. But I do get it. These are kids' toys and they get the job done pretty well. Then, if you're wondering if anything is stiff or loose on them, you don't have to worry because all their joints move nice and smooth. So overall, the look and feel of these figures is pretty damn good. Shadow looks the best and the coolest, and Sonic just looks to me. I think it's because I have a regular Super Sonic and he doesn't have all the extra stuff for the light up gimmick on him, which I know Shadow does, but to me he doesn't look as bad as Sonic's. Sonic's button is a big circle over his chest area, while Shadow's is placed on his chest hair and it blends in better. But whenever they do release a regular Super Shadow, I'm sure he will look even better than this. Now, much like every figure in this line, they don't come with any accessories, which is understandable. This is a double figure pack that the main selling point is the light up gimmick. And it also retails for $30, so 2 figures with no accessories for that price is definitely justifiable. So since they don't come with anything, you can pose them up with random things you have. Like here they are powering up with a DBZ effect, or here's Shadow charging up a Key Blast. If you have a ring, you can have Sonic hold it, or if you have a Chaos Emerald, you can have Shadow hold it. You just gotta get creative and think outside the box for things. And it's really fun doing so, as it can bring out some either really badass or goofy shots. Okay, since these figures have the light up gimmick, some articulation sacrifices had to be made. The head on these guys don't have a ball joint like the regular releases do, so they can only look side to side. Then, also unlike the regular releases, they don't have a butterfly joint or waist articulation. These sacrifices definitely suck, but they are understandable since the gimmick would not work without doing so. And even with some of the articulation getting cut, these figures can still pose pretty damn well. As I've said, their heads can only look side to side and then their arms can go up pretty far. There is rotation at the upper bicep, their arms can bend this far, and their hands still at the peak articulation where at the wrist they can move back and forth, and there's a knuckle joint so the fingers can move. Their legs can go this far forwards, they can go this far backwards, and then they can go this far outwards. They each have a thigh swivel, knees that get a great amount of flexion, and then fantastic ankle articulation. And as I've said, even with some articulation getting taken away, these figures can still pose pretty damn good. So let's now see how they look next to some other figures. First here is Super Shadow and Sonic next to the light up Sonic and Shadow. Here we can see that they reused the regular bodies for the Super ones. But Super Sonic head isn't reused, and I can't tell if Shadows is new or not. It looks the same, so it probably is. So pretty much Super Shadow is just a beautiful repaint, which is fine. Then here they are next to the regular Sonic and Shadow. Here they are next to Knuckles and Tails. Here they are next to the regular Super Sonic and Robotnik. Then here they are next to Super Vegeta and Super Goku. I'm having Super Saiyans versus Super Hedgehogs flashbacks. Then here they are next to the Jazzwares 3 3/4 inch Sonic. Here they are next to the Jazzwares 5 inch Super Sonic. Here they are next to the Nendroid Sonic. Here they are next to Little Shadow. And lastly, here they are next to Storm Collectibles Yuji Rohama. And if you're curious who wins this fight, it's obvious. So my final thoughts about these two figures is that they are great, especially the Shadow. Like yeah, the Sonic is cool, but let's all be real. The only reason to buy this set is for Super Shadow, and he's the best thing about it. He looks badass and is literally so freaking fun to pose around. Of course, Sonic doesn't look bad, but mine having the 4QC and the fact I already have a Super Sonic really just makes him insignificant to me. But if you don't have a Super Sonic, he's definitely worth it. The fact that this set is affordable at $30 and they had so many stocked up is great, because now some of y'all don't have to worry about stores running out of them or not being able to afford them, as they are pretty easy to get your hands on them. The Sonic movie line has been so amazing, and these guys are releasing around the perfect time as the movie releases very soon, and I can't wait to see it. Also, I know I'm gonna get comments saying, "You spoiled the movie, you're spoiler warning, bruh." And all I gotta say is, don't get mad at me. Get mad at Jakks Pacific and Target for having these figures out before the movie. And even if you didn't have social media, you'd more than likely walk into a store before the movie and see these. So guys, don't get mad at people for posting these figures. And that's it for this one, guys. Thank you to all of you who watched the video. It really means a lot. And I want to hear your thoughts on the situation of Jakks Pacific releasing these figures before the movie drops. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I mean, like, what the fuck is...
お前はもう死んでいる。何